With his 137th international goal. 40 years old, Ale, still having an impact for his Portugal side.
Absolutely he is. And there's no denying that you score the game winner in a semi-final. You should be praised. And indeed, this is your position now. Cristiano Ronaldo is not a guy that goes out wide or drops underneath. He is a center forward. And what is a center forward supposed to do? Well, you can ask Jurgen Klinsmann. It's scoring goals. Scoring goals. And even if it is tap-ins, you have to be there in order to score them. He was there to receive the pass from Nuno Mendes. But I think if we focus on Cristiano Ronaldo's, we're making a huge, huge mistake. You got to see the totality of Portugal and appreciate how good of a team this is and how good of a team they can be. And especially and particularly one of Frank's boys, when Vitinha gets on the field, this team becomes something different entirely. They were good in the first half. Vitinha comes on the field in the second half. They became dominant, and Germany were having a really difficult time hanging on.
Yeah, but coming back to on Ronaldo, I've been watching him a lot from past games before, and thinking that he was kind of a weight for the team. Today wasn't. Today was sharp. I love the way he was playing, the way he was helping out his teammates. I find him like very good, physically sharp, and somebody who made the difference for his team. It's true that when Conceição and Vitinha came on, it was a different Portugal. The pace of the game, how they controlled the game was absolutely different for me.
Yeah, you may have seen that Aage, Fjortoft and Jurgen Klinsmann have joined us. Jurgen, let me get word from you on what we're seeing from Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, I totally agree with all of you. I mean, this is just exceptional. I mean, what he's producing, what he's doing, obviously 40 years old, and it seems he's not getting old at all. He put himself into the service of the team. He came back, he helped out, he's trying to connect with his teammates. So this is a real leader, no matter now what his age is. And obviously, once he's in the box, he's one of the best finishers still in the world. He can make a difference anytime. But it's his attitude that makes that huge difference, because if he keeps his teammates positive with him, if he can deliver kind of his work to the team, then there's no doubt about it that he can still play on, that he can play obviously this summer, he play next year's World Cup in the United States, Canada and Mexico. So this is just simply incredible. Obviously we lost a little bit sight of him since he went to Saudi Arabia. But even there, he delivers, he does his job, he's there for his team. And similar to what we've seen in Qatar at the World Cup with Messi, at a later stage, he cashes in with all his trophies, 2 Copa Americas, and then the World Cup. He's still ready to cash in, maybe next summer at the World Cup with his Portugal team, which is, as you said, it's a very, very exceptional Portuguese side.
Yes, and Jan, there are many still that would suggest that Cristiano Ronaldo shouldn't even be in this Portugal team anymore.
Yeah, who are they? Put them on a place. Show them to me. This guy, just put on the records. I mean, first of all, Portugal had 2 players from the Saudi League today, which is quite interesting. And secondly, I'm with Frank. I liked his movements today. I liked the way he found his position a couple of 3 times when you saw the run of the old Cristiano Ronaldo. But he's 40, but it's still doing the job. And we also have to praise the national coach of Portugal that he finds his role in there. And yes, you can see on the bench, and you can see today as well, they got even better when they come, because new players come on the pitch. But hello, he's got 137 goals, 137. When I grew up, when there was a football player scoring 37 goals for their country, that was sensational. And this guy got 220 caps for them. And Jurgen, you said that he will play in the USA next year. He will probably play in Saudi Arabia in 2034, this man. It's unbelievable what the guy is doing.
Now, Jan just mentioned Roberto Martinez, and I think it's important that we highlight something that was very clear in this game. One of the things that we're concerned about when we see Cristiano Ronaldo leading the line for Portugal is he going to be able to press defenders? Is he going to be able to chase defenders? Is he going to do the job that, for example, Dembele was doing for PSG and the Champions League final? Does he have that in his game? And the answer is no. But how do you go about resolving that issue if you're Roberto Martinez? Well, you put guys around him that are runners. So Trincao and Neto, they're the ones that are going to go press most of the time. And Ronaldo, basically what he's saying, or what he's trying to do, is shading the play one way, forcing it into the guys that are going to be able to press it. And so Neto will press down the left, Trincao will press down the right. And now you don't have freedom, if you're Germany in this case, to try to play the ball out of the back. But that has to be by design, knowing full well that you don't need Cristiano Ronaldo chasing around. You need Cristiano Ronaldo finishing the chances. This is who he is at this point in his career. It's important that the manager makes an assessment and change and adjustment, and certainly Roberto Martinez has done that.
Yes to 2026 for Cristiano Ronaldo World Cup?
Well, if he carries on like that, and on top of it with the player that he has around him who can serve him, yes, of course. If he keeps the shape that he is in right now, again, I didn't see a 40-year-old guy today. I saw a guy sharp who could run, who can do that with his intelligence and his experience of the game. It wasn't like that guy should get out. It was like 2 years ago. I would have said that because I felt that. He's in the game. Right now, there is nothing to complain about. And with the players like Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes, Conceição, even Silva and Mendes on the other side, he's going to be served. So he's going to carry on scoring goals. Yeah.
What about this Portuguese team, Jurgen, and what we can expect from them if they will be among the favourites next year? There's a lot of quality in this side.
Absolutely, there's a lot of quality in that side, and obviously the key for Roberto Martinez is always the chemistry. It's how to create a group that is will to go a long way in a World Cup, which will be an incredible marathon next summer with 48 teams. So he has to gel these players together. He has to make them a group that believes in it. And it doesn't matter then the age of the players. It matters the characters. So if they are willed there to do the extra work, to fight for one each other and go the extra mile, then the sky is the limit. I mean, there's so much young talent coming out of Portugal. It's not even funny. It's incredible. And so their win was totally deserved. I think Germany, they had the one or two occasions in the first half. Goretzka had the opportunity there to score maybe, and then after they scored the first goal, and they were just waiting on the reaction of the Portuguese team, and then Vitinha and Conceição came on and they changed the entire game. Different pace, different rhythm, and different quality, and they turned it around. But I think this is really a team that no matter now how the final will end on Sunday, this is a team to count on for the World Cup next year in the US.
Jan, let's talk about Germany then. What more could Nagelsmann have done with this side today?
Well, it's a good question because there were some players who were absent, who wasn't there. But it just shows you that this is the second tournament, and the Germans have been very good and talk this tournament up. It's called a mini Euro. This is the place where they want to succeed. But this is the second time now that they have failed at a home tournament. And I was surprised when I saw how Germany reacted after that 1-0, because there were no, I don't know how to define it. There was no leadership out there. We have 1-0 now. Let's adjust now. Let's let them have the ball, but let's be good on the break. And as Jurgen was saying, they didn't create enough. We saw the Adeyemi. I had a feeling that both Diaz and Costa had the control out of that, even if they hit the post. So now Germany need to take the next step to be up there among the best. I think the two last tournaments have proved that, although there is an optimism around the German national team, which Nagelsmann have managed to do after he took over from Flick.
You know what? For the four team that we have in the semi-final, maybe Jurgen can tell us if there is a hope on that. Spain, France, and Portugal, they have young guys, young generation coming up and showing the difference and the craziness of their game. And of course, you have Lamine Yamal and so many other, Koubarsi and so many others in France, Doué, we see that. And in Portugal, with Conceição, Mendes is only 22 years old, Vitinha is still young. I don't see in Germany any young players coming up. Yeah, Wirtz, but...
Musiala?
Yeah, Musiala, but he wasn't there. But that's short for me. I don't know. Do the federation have prepared something to show us maybe a new generation of football players in Germany, Jurgen?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, obviously there's Florian Wirtz and Musiala. Musiala injured at the moment, and these two are the exception. They are fantastic when they play. You know, they can really terrorize an opponent and have high quality. But the issue we have, unfortunately, since a little while, is that there is no real leadership in the national team. So when things go wrong, you know, so when they today, Conceição, you know, equalized the game, there was nobody on the field that said, no, give me the ball now. I take care of it. I change the rhythm of the game. I do something different. And what was really a little bit of a worrying part was that not that they were only outplayed then by the Portuguese side the last half an hour, they also were outfighted by the Portuguese players. So Portugal was physically stronger. They were nastier. They did certain fouls also purposely, like at the end you could see when they had a little bit of a go at each other when there was this foul on Florian Wirtz in the midfield, which was a purpose foul. If you use their VAR, you have actually an argument for a red card. But it's a sign that Portugal wanted it just more. They were nastier. They were more physical. Besides all their, you know, obviously technical quality, and this is something that is a little bit worrying on that Germany side. Is, you know, okay, one thing is when you lead and when things go well, okay, you know, and everybody plays well. But when things go wrong, you know, so who is it now on that German side to take matters into his hands and is able to make a difference, a different play, a different. A different sign out there on the field. So the last 30 minutes, there was no German side, German team on the field that gave you really this kind of a feeling that they can turn things around.
I think, if I may say, Kay, I think that when I saw Portugal today, I got a bit Argentina vibe. They have the quality of technique. They're doing all the stuff, but I also have that toughness, this extra cynical kind of thing that I have to in the game. And I 100% with Jurgen, I don't see that at the German players. I don't see that in that team. And I think that to win the tournament, to win the World Cup 2026, you have to have that as well. You can't only live by your technique and your fancy moves.
Germany have a outside back, wing back problem on the right-hand side. Not because Joshua Kimmich cannot do the job, but because you miss out on what Joshua Kimmich can give you in the midfield. And because you don't have the presence of names like, let's go back in time for Germany, Hans-Peter Briegel. You don't have Thomas Berthold. You don't have Philipp Lahm. You don't have a player that can guarantee you that position there so that you then free up Joshua Kimmich to play in the midfield. Now, some of the criticism of Joshua Kimmich has been that he doesn't quite give you that leadership that is needed in Bayern Munich in that central position. Well, that's the same leadership that is missing in the central of midfield for Germany. And if you look around in this team, who is going to give you that? It has to be Joshua Kimmich. 100 caps for Germany, he has to be that presence in the middle of midfield. But because he's out there in the right back position or wing back, he doesn't really impact the game in the manner in which he should, especially in moments in which leadership is needed. You look at a guy like Pavlovic, as young and as talented as he may be, he doesn't stay with Nuno Mendes. That's irresponsible defending. It's a little give and go. He doesn't stay with his runner. If you look at the goal by Conceição, while it is a great finish, Pavlovic is late to recover. And Ronaldo takes Koch away with his run, and Pavlovic is nowhere to be found. So those are things that have to come from somebody with experience, with leadership, with presence that knows in this moment, the most important thing is we have to deny Portugal a scoring opportunity. Instead, Pavlovic is interested in playing little give and go action instead of defending. Again, you have a problem with your Nagelsmann because you don't have that right back position sorted out. You don't have quite the players or the names from the past to cover that position. So you sacrifice Kimmich to play out there, and then in turn you sacrifice what happens in the midfield.
What's your response to what Ale says there, Jurgen?
The response to?
To what Ale's saying
Ale?
about the problem that Nagelsmann has.
No, absolutely. I absolutely agree. This is the kind of how do you build a team towards a big competition like obviously next year's World Cup is, you know, who are your leaders? You know, who are your guys that step it up? You know, who are the ones that show that toughness that is needed? You know, because if you're not tough, if you're not nasty, you're not getting anywhere in the World Cup. You know, you got to fight for every battle there. You fight for every ball. I mean, what is Portugal doing right now is a bit similar as Jan Aage and Frank said. It's similar to what Argentina did towards the World Cup in Qatar. You know, they built their whole kind of aggressiveness and protection net towards Messi. Messi was protected. They made sure that Messi doesn't have to do much work, like with Ronaldo. You know, but the other ones, they did extra work. They didn't not only do 100%, they went 110, 120%. And that's a team that is growing right now with Portugal, that they are willed to go the extra mile for the fact that they have a fantastic 40-year-old world-class player still in their team that can always make a difference in any moment of the game, and is also somebody that takes over responsibility when things go not the right way. And this is something that worries me with the German side is, okay, you know, you have good players in good clubs, you know, and they had their moments over the last couple of years. But when it really, really matters, you need somebody to step it up. And my generation was Lothar Matthäus, was the guys that, you know, give me the ball now and I take care of things. And so every team needs these kind of one or two personality that can make the difference when things go wrong. And Germany don't have that personality right now. And even if Kimmich would come inside here with Alejandro, I agree. But even if he's inside, he's not the verbal leader. He's leading by example, by his passing game and by his energy. But they need somebody here and there that opens the mouth, you know, and says something and maybe starts a fight out there, which they did at the end of the day. And Florian Wirtz was getting into it because there was buddy jacked in midfield, and he lost it a little bit, which is a good sign. But Florian Wirtz and Musiala are still too young when you look now towards the World Cup 2026 in America.